Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. Okay, so let's get right to the point, people. I need a break from doing news. I can't. I just need a break. I would say I can't do news anymore. I quit. But I know the second I say that, something's going to happen, which I want to cover. So I just need a little break from news, a little break from politics. It's so stupid. I mean, I've never seen the discussion be more stupid. It's just. I mean, you would think during Donald Trump, it was stupid. So, I want to do something a little different for a little while, and I'm not sure exactly what to do. I have some ideas. I'm thinking about doing cannabis crypto. Let's see, Canna Crypto Casino. How about that? Where we come out every day and we look at the crypto market and we discuss the crypto market. See, I have this theory. I don't want to look at the crypto market and discuss the crypto market. I don't really want to discuss it. I want you guys to discuss it. I'll discuss it with you if you like. If we were to do that, it's that I have this theory, right? I have this theory that you can take $250 and turn it into $1 million in 1 year, in 12 months, and I'll get into that later. I have this feeling like maybe that's what we should focus on. Let's turn $250 into $1 million, right? If I actually believe that's doable, I could probably help a whole lot more people than I'm doing now. So it's just something. It's just a thought. It's like I have to find something else to do for at least a little while. The news, the politics, is off the charts. Stupid. It's just stupid. It's like no one says anything of value, And I don't want to spend my time. I don't want to spend your time. Discussing stupid things that stupid people say. And the real problem is that they're not stupid. If they were stupid, it'd probably be a lot more entertaining. But they're not stupid, and they say stupid things because they think you're stupid. And I'm tired of that. I don't want to. I don't want to continue to not. I don't want to continue down the road where it's just the same thing every day and nothing changes. I mean, if we were doing the crypto canna casino, right? Every day there'd be new discussion about what we should do today. I think it'd be interesting if we could get people who are into it talking about what we should do today, what the direction things are headed, what we should keep an eye on. Move the Reddit, try and incorporate the Reddit crypto page into our discussion, and there's so much more, but that's just the start. I think that there's a ton of things we could talk about other than this. I mean, we can spend months talking about clowns, although we've already spent years doing that, haven't we? I don't. The thing with the copyright strike that we got, I feel like I don't know. You know, I was saying earlier that if I need a break from news and politics. I said as soon as I say I'm quitting news and politics, something will happen, which I want to cover very badly. The thing is that when something happens, right, and it's this huge government cover up, like let's say 9/11. So let's say that there's an event, right, and then we have this YouTube censorship that's now been going on about, medical misinformation. To me, this is just a first step, which is really not a first step, but it's like headed a direction. It's not really the complete direction that it's going, and this is why I say YouTube sucks. This is why I've been talking about copyright forever. YouTube doesn't have to dump a library that has 11,500 videos in it. That's what this library here has. That's what the Mox News, a current Mox News library has. 11,500 videos plus.
Do me half a favor, just to sell some bullshit in the chat. I know you don't look at your chat, but I want the numbskulls to see we have a nice, big, beautiful microphone. This is what Mike uses, dumbasses. So shut your fucking mouths if you want to hear the phone calls. Okay?
You want to plug in a phone for me?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
And
just because Mike doesn't wear headphones to take your goddamn calls and he wants to look like a human being.
I don't wear headphones because it's my fucking show and I don't have to wear headphones if I don't want to wear headphones. And I'll tell you something, 10 years before there's ever a goddamn YouTube, I was on fucking television and I was saying the same fucking thing. It's my fucking TV show. If I want to wear headphones, I'll wear headphones. If not, I won't fucking wear headphones. Got it?
So that's why the sound quality is parabolic, as if it's in the whole room instead of clipped onto your face.
I really don't give a fuck what the sound quality is. That's why I have Craig.
If somebody wants to spend the money to get a device for this Polycom phone that can pipe the sound into the computer and still allow Mike to hear it,
you love Polycom.
Get out your fucking checkbook.
Or just make a donation would be nice.
I'm going to put the dog on camera. We're not quite lined up.
Okay. Oh, there's my Boo Bear. Hey, buddy. You're my beautiful baby.
All right, I'm done. I'm off my rant.
All right. You're my beautiful baby, Boo Bear. You're my beautiful baby. I love you, Bookie Bear. We went on a long walk today. So... I don't really care. It's so weird, I used to have like these television tech, professional television techs. Craig is very close to that. He's really good at this stuff. He always does things in a professional manner. But I used to have these television techs, and they're like, "Put your headphones on. Put your headphones on." I'd be like, "Fuck you." Okay, I'm going to do this the way I want to do this. Everybody else might wear headphones and look exactly like they're the same, all wearing headphones. I'm not doing that. And it's this thing, I could do all these things that are like, oh, look, Mike's doing this. Oh, look, Mike's cool. He's doing this. I don't care about being cool. I don't care about, I don't care. I just want to... I don't want to think about politics for the time being. I don't want to think... everything is basically politics. So it's very difficult not to think about politics. Everything is basically news. So it's very difficult not to think about the news. I can tell you that on my DVR, where I record all of my news and then pull all the news clips that play back for you, on my DVR, I have deleted the majority of future recordings, like over 50% of future recordings I have deleted, because again, I want to do something different. I don't care if we talk about dogs. I don't care if we talk about cannabis. I like talking about dogs and I like talking about cannabis. I don't care if we talk about cake. I love cake. I gotta make brownies, by the way, tonight. I don't care, I need to do something different. So I want some input. If you guys think that the Canna Crypto Casino sounds like fun, because we can step right up and place our bets every night, every day. We can place our bet. Step right up and place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. And I have a theory. on how to get to $1 million in 12 months with a $250 start. Which means if you only started with $125, it would take 13 months. Which means if you only started with $65, it would take 14 months. So everyone can play in my Canna Casino. We're not leaving anybody out if we go that direction. I don't know. There's my girl. Hi, my girl. I'm so ready for a bong hit. Anybody else ready for a bong hit? I am so ready for a bong hit. I'm planning on doing a fairly short show tonight. I have to make brownies. I have to do some gardening video. And I only chopped one video out for you tonight. Only clipped out one video because it's about the VA and medical marijuana. And you know, I see people going, you know, oh, all he cares about is cannabis. You know, I care a lot about cannabis. And the reason I care a lot about cannabis is because it's a crime against humanity to keep it illegal. Okay? The people in charge of the American Medical Association should go to prison. The people in charge of it for the last 40 years should go to prison. You know why? Because they said cannabis has 0 medicinal qualities. Okay? And why would they say that? I mean, these are highly educated people in the medical profession. They've researched medical history. They know cannabis has been used for 1,000 years as medicine. And they stand up there and they say, cannabis has no medicinal qualities. And why would they say that? Right? Why on earth would they say that? When they could be helping sick people very much. People are desperately... And by the way, I believe that a lot of the illness that people are suffering right now is because they don't have cannabis in their diet. So you know. And I can guarantee that 50% of the depressed people in the world, if they had cannabis in their diet, they'd be saying, you know, Doc, I feel much better. So how many people can you save there? You know, yes, it's a crime against humanity. Yes, the American Medical Association for my entire life has said cannabis has 0 medicinal qualities. Now, the reason that this is a crime against humanity is because there's all these people that could have been helped by this amazing flower that anyone can grow in their backyard. You don't need $5,000 worth of medication a month because your daughter, your 5-6-year-old daughter has 300 seizures a week. You know, I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary called Weed, Sanjay Gupta. But there's a girl on that documentary named Charlotte, and she has like 300 seizures a week. And then they put her on cannabis, and she's down to like 5 seizures a month. You know, which is the difference between life and death. Okay, and this is what the American Medical Association has been doing to little girls for generations, to little boys for generations, to sick people for generations. And why would you do this to sick people? You're there to heal them. Why would you do that? To make money. Because money's more important than healing sick people. It's better to let the little girl have 300 seizures a week so that we can make money, as opposed to her parents growing her own medicine. How disgusting is that? And this is, again, this pillars of the community thing, where all the pillars of the community are completely full of shit. You know, the pillars of the community are who we turn to when we're desperate and we don't know where to go, right? We turn to the government when there's these laws that are fucking, you know, just out of control, like medical marijuana. We turn to the government, we say, hey, this has to change. and we understand at this point that the government is completely full of shit. Pillar of the community, right? Foundation of the community. Then we're like terribly ill. We don't know what else to do. We turn to the medical association, the for-profit medical industrial complex, right? Because we're desperate for help for our little girl. And the medical industrial complex poisons your little girl even more. Horrible drugs that just zone her out into nothing. And why would they do that to a beautiful little girl? For money. That's the only reason. That can be the only. Okay, so the government's full of shit. The medical industrial complex is full of shit. I'm sorry, for-profit medical industrial complex. Who do we turn to next? I know. We need help. Over here, help, help, help. We turn to the police. We've watched the police be full of shit again and again and again and again. Okay? Their religions, that considered, at least in the past, you know, when people are like at their wits' end, they turn to religion. You know, again, completely full of shit. And there's just so much more. It goes on and on. But basically, I'm showing you the pillars of the community. You know, the people that when we're desperate and we have nowhere else to turn, we turn to them. And they're all full of shit. So this is our country right now. This is our government. This is our planet. And it's ruled by sick fuckers who only care about one thing. Well, two things. I don't know, money and power. Are those different things, money and power? I don't know if those are different things necessarily. But that's all that the people in our government care about. That's all they care about, money and or power. You know, that's the deal with the police. Oh, they don't make that much money. What are you talking about? Right, but they have ultimate power, don't they? You know, the American Medical Association can tell people you can't have cannabis. Can tell the government people shouldn't have cannabis. That's power in your life, in your world. Right? We already talked about the government. We already talked about, religion. Right? Oh, man. Religion, how is that not power to have over people? Right? Money and power. It's all they care about. Religion. Well, there's a lot of money to be made there. Fleecing sheep. But then there's all this power. This power. I'm a representative of God. I'm sorry. It's Mr. God to you, fucker. You know, again, how much more full of shit can you possibly be than to stand in front of everyone and say, I am God's representative on earth? Yeah, okay. Good plan. And how many people buy into this bullshit? But, you know, when it's bullshit everywhere you turn, right? You turn here, it's bullshit. You turn here, it's bullshit. You turn here, it's bullshit. You know, do you just stop looking? Do you stop looking over here for help? Do you stop looking over here for help? Or you just go, well, it's full of shit. There's nothing I can do. I still need their help. You know what? I mean, obviously the American, the for-profit medical industrial complex is completely full of shit, right? Obviously, but we have nowhere else to turn, so we turn to the bullshit fucking medical complex, and they pump us full of poison. And how many people just submit to what the doctors say, right? Again, they lie about the cannabis so that they can make money, but how many people do the doctors have like immense power over? You know, like really, they got money and power when it comes to doctors, and the doctors can go, you should do this, and people go, oh yes, I'll do that right away, sir. You know, my doctor says, want you to do this. I'm like, I don't want to do that. He said, well, I think it'd be a really good idea if you do that. I said, I don't care. I don't want to do that. And I'm telling you, this is how it goes word for word. And more people need to be like this. Okay? And I hope that more people are than I give credit to. Because I want a world full of those people. That when some fucking authoritative figure steps up and says, I want you to do this, you go, who the fuck are you? Because you're not the boss of me. And if we have to have a discussion so that I can explain that to you, I'll be happy to have that discussion right now. We really need a lot more people like that. I think. I could be wrong. Maybe I hope that that half the people on the planet are like that. I really do. And I want to hang out with you guys and party. Because we need freedom. We need, I get freedom's messy. People make big mistakes when they're free to do whatever they want. Making mistakes is part of growing up. Making mistakes is part of learning what you're doing. Making mistakes is part of understanding what you should do next time. Okay, I don't need a cop or a doctor or a politician telling me what I should do. Okay, I'm not in the process of standing on the edge of a cliff making mistakes. Okay, I'm standing on the edge of a cliff put there by politicians and the medical industrial complex and the police state. I'm standing on that cliff, but I've always enjoyed the view from the edge. It's a good view from the edge. So, I want to do something different. I don't want to come out here and just keep repeating this shit about how everybody's full of shit in the government, in the police state, in the medical industrial complex, in religion. I don't want to come out here night after night and go, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. Because I don't think I'm telling the majority of anything new. And besides that, well, I can see every once in a while I say something and you're like, whoa, that does seem like a good idea. I've noticed that. I'm full of good ideas. Everything I talk about is a good idea. It's all about giving the power back to the people. Everything I talk about is about giving the power back to the people. So again, I don't want to come out here night after night, or at least I need a break from coming out here night after night and going, this is fucked up and that's fucked up and this is fucked up. I don't want to be that person. I mean, I like looking at problems and injecting solutions and ideas and how we move forward from this. It's like with the climate change. The climate change can be fixed. The climate change can be fixed. They don't want to fix the climate change. They want to debate the climate change, and it can be debated forever. Climate change has been debated since the 60s, since the 1960s at least. Okay, climate change is, I think it's pretty easily solvable. The problem is that the problem is not climate change. I know all you woke people are like, your head is going like a volcano right now. What do you mean climate change is not the problem? Climate change is a symptom, not the problem. Pollution is the problem. And there's very little being done. Oh, we'll go ahead and pay this carbon tax so that we can continue to pollute the earth's air and water and everything else. Yeah, that carbon tax ain't gonna do shit for us. It put money in the politician. I'm not a politician, you're not a politician. The carbon tax probably helped them. The problem is pollution, okay? So, and no one seems to be addressing the pollution issue. It's all dance around the fucking climate change. and to me, I bring up this South Park episode from time to time. It's when it's the one where Al Gore comes back. They did the man bear pig thing like 22 years ago or 23 years ago, right? South Park been on for a while, and Al Gore was talking about man bear pig, and he's running around telling everybody man bear pig is real. And Al Gore, the former vice president, and it winds up that spoiler alert, okay? It winds up that climate change, or that well, the problem, everything's melting, everything's getting hotter, and the man bear pig is killing people, right? Climate change is killing people, right? So, and the investigators go in to see what's killing people, and nobody can figure it out, right? Climate change is not that big a deal. So they find out. I mean, it's not that it's not a big deal. It's like it's solvable. That's the whole point. They go in, they find out it's a demon causing the climate change, right? And every 20 years, the demon comes back. 20 years, 40 years, every other generation, the demon comes back. And the demon comes back and starts killing people, right? So, but the demon is a deal maker, right? So that's what the demon's real thing is, wants to make a deal. So the demon says, if you trade these two things, I'll go away and never come back, right? And the two generations before him, what they had to trade was sports cars and premium ice cream, right? Which they did not do. And then so the boys make the South Park boys make a deal with this, this demon. That they write up all the contract and everything, and the demon says, okay, the boys say, okay, we're ready to give up, hot rods and premium ice cream. We're ready to give that up. And the demon talks to his lawyer and he says, and the lawyer says, we're no longer interested in ice cream and sports cars. He says, we have a new thing that we want, and the demon tells him what it is he wants in the trade now in order to go away and never come back. And the whole show is all about Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like some giant advertisement for Red Dead Redemption. Everybody in South Park is playing it, right? So they come back. The boys come out to the window from where they're making this deal with the demon, and there's a crowd of people out there. And what is it? And he says he'll go away and never come back, but we have to give up Red Dead Redemption, or video games. I think it's let's say video game. We have to give up video games, and we have to give up soy sauce, right? And there's all these 1,000 people waiting outside the window, and one guy says, "Plain rice," and the boys look out and they say, "That's what I thought." And they come back in and they negotiate with the demon to come back 2 generations later. So what I'm telling you is that we could solve this, and that's what South Park is telling you. This is solvable. The problem is there's no real commitment to fix it. There's no, we'll do carbon tax. That'll make it better. That doesn't fix fucking anything. Pollution is the problem. Alright, I gotta make brownies. Did I say I gotta make brownies? I gotta make brownies. So I'll be doing that momentarily. Let's see. I think we should have I have a video. I only have one video. Like I said, I'm just gonna do a short show. So if you want to call, the number's there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. I only have one video, and I'm going to get to that momentarily. And it shows, how full of shit everybody is. Everybody in the government, completely full of shit. And see, this is what I keep coming back to, is I don't want to be this person. I at least not for a little bit. I want to take a break from going, everything's wrong, everything's full of shit, everything is messed up, and that's not really who I am. I mean, I come out here night after night and I talk about the beautiful day outside, I talk about the walk. We went on a 3-hour walk today. It's a pretty good one. You know, the blue sky, the birds, the little creatures that I see, that I come in contact with, the people I come in contact with. I talk about that a lot. I talk about a lot of stuff that I really, I think it wouldn't bother me so much, you know, if I didn't have this sense of wonder, if I didn't see the wonder, if I didn't feel the joy all surrounding me, if I wasn't able to experience, you know, my neighbors, because a lot of people are just like this, they're looking at their phone, right? I don't know who you're there, just stay away from me, don't look at me, don't look at me, you know? So they miss out on all the wonder. They think that they can find the wonder on their telephone. You can't find the wonder on your telephone. So they miss out on all the wonder, and it's all around you. And I don't know, maybe that's what we need to talk about. Maybe we need to just focus on the spirituality of being alive. How about that? Hello, caller.
Hello there, Michael. This is Super Bullshit, Tron. How are you doing?
I'm
Haven't talked to you in a
fine.
long time.
I'm fine.
There's a lot of bullshit going out there, I know. Youngster. It's gonna be brighter out there on the other side. I've been out here fighting against the carbon footprint and saving the manatees out here. Michael, I just want to let you know that.
Good. Glad to hear it.
It's really difficult out here with all the super bullshit that's going on in the world. Makes me really fucking mad and pissed off and shit. And as a superhero, Michael, I just want to let you know that we're out here. We're out here fighting the good fight against the super bullshit.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Are you glad to hear that, Michael? Can we get an amen?
No.
Hallelujah.
Nope.
For Diamond and Silk, sponsors of the show.
Can't do diamond and silk no more.
Oh shit, what them bitches do. Now. Probably a lot. I tell you what, they probably ain't cleaning up the ocean, I tell you what. It's rough out here, Michael. Being a superhero like we are, I tell you what, it's difficult.
I'm just a man doing a job. That's all I am. All right, bud. It's good to hear from you. I hope things are going well.
Hey, you don't call me Bud. I call you Bud. Okay? You listen here, Bud.
I'm not your pal, buddy. I'm not your buddy, pal.
Hey.
I'm not your pal, buddy.
I'm a superhero. I'm the fucking guy that's the leader. Okay? Nobody calls me buddy or pal or shit or nothing. Okay?
I'm sure people
Hear me?
call you shit. Your name is
Bullshit
Super
that I
Bullshit, Tron. I'm quite sure people shorten it down to shit every day.
I have to deal with a bunch of fucking super bullshit constantly, and I don't need your fucking goddamn fucking call me names.
Yeah, well, you called me,
Okay?
so
You just call me fucking Sir Super Bullshit Tron, one or the other.
shit,
You got it?
shit.
No, Super Bullshit Tron. Get it all in there. Just the fucking then underline it with like a fucking highlighter. Shit. All right, I gotta go.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
These are my crumbles from my brownies. As you can tell, I'm all out. I have to make a batch of brownies. All right. So I'm looking for ideas, people. I want to know if you have any ideas about what we should do next. Can a crypto casino? What should we do next? What shall we use? I only had one brownie today. It was a while ago. I was waiting to make a batch of brownies, and then I didn't get to it. So, we had a 3-hour walk. That will eat up a lot of your day. But it was nice. Did you have a nice walkie, buddy? Had to give him his peanut butter cookie early today. I might give him a second one because it was a long walk. Okay, so zombies, angry hippie, great caller, very informative. Shitcoin, is there a shitcoin? Ooh, we should put it all on the shitcoin. Trip reports. I'm gonna eat my brownies. I'm gonna go heat up my tea, and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take a bong hit, and we'll go from there. So I have this video about the VA giving veterans that are committing suicide at the numbers of 18 a day, saying that they can't have cannabis. Hello, caller.
Michael,
Yeah.
what'd you get flagged for?
There was a clip from Newsmax that was of a retired Marine taking down a guy with a gun at a convenience store.
Newsmax?
Yeah, right. They're fucking they whine incessantly about fucking censorship on YouTube, and then they do this shit.
What year was the clip from?
It was from 2 months ago. It was from a month ago, something like that.
And it was them. It wasn't a bot.
What? Oh, I have no idea.
It was them. It wasn't. It wasn't just a fucking automatic bot. It was a human filed a copyright on it.
I don't think so, because I had a bunch of their clips up, and it seemed like they just picked that one in particular. I dumped all the clips that I had up of them because I'm not gonna take their shit, you know.
Yeah, I was interested because I caught a couple bad ones in the past month. Apparently, anything that has the sound of an explosion in it is it's now hate speech.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is what I was saying at the beginning of the show, right? Is that this medical misinformation thing is just the first little chip in the iceberg. What's happening is they're preparing for a large event, as if COVID wasn't large enough. They're preparing for a large event in which they can go, oh, well, you're saying something different than what the government is saying, so we have to delete your entire page. Right? That's what I see.
Yeah, YouTube sucks. The whole fucking platform sucks.
It's gotten that way for sure. It didn't always suck. It was in the very beginning. It was amazing, and then Google bought it and they just fucked everything up.
Good times are gone. Good times are over. YouTube is. We were experiencing what China lived through for 10 years. You know. It is what it is. All right, Mike. Have a good one.
Right, you have any ideas for something else to do besides news?
Something else to do.
I want to do something besides news,
porno,
man.
All the time. Porno. Jackie, naked. That's what we need.
I love porno. I love porno, but I'm pretty sure that would get me kicked off at YouTube faster than the news, so.
We should start an OnlyFans with nothing but Jackie cat videos. I got no suggestions for you, Mikey. I don't know. Grow pot. Post that.
Okay, I'm working on that one. Thanks.
All right, later, Mike.
Okay, talk to you later. And we talk about pot all the time. I don't particularly care for that word. We talk about cannabis all the time. And I am currently in the beginning stages of starting a garden. I have like 5 little plants about that big. So that started. I'm gonna start another 5 probably tonight because I started like 9 of them and they didn't all go. But I fucked up. I fuck up in the beginning, right in the start of doing shit. I'm like, oh. And I think it's because I rush, but it doesn't seem like I'm rushing, but it's like, okay, let's get all this stuff done. I gotta smoke some weed. Alright, I'm gonna play this video about the VA and cannabis. And I want to point out that this one woman that's not Kennedy, at the end of the clip, talks about how recreational cannabis is dangerous. Now, I will bet you that she had a cocktail before she came on, and that she's going to have a couple more cocktails before the day is over. And the reason that I say this is because she doesn't seem to have a problem with recreational alcohol, which is the #1 date rape drug in the world. So she's going to run off after the show and drink her #1 date rape drug, but doesn't think that you have the right to use the drugs that you want to use, because she's all about liberty.
From the abysmal withdrawal from a failed war in Afghanistan to a heartless dismissal of cannabis research, the federal government continues to abandon its veterans. Veteran groups far and wide, like the American Legion, overwhelmingly endorse cannabis research so VA doctors can understand and legally prescribe marijuana to forgotten warriors who suffer from everything from PTSD to insomnia and chronic pain. In 2017, the National Academy of Medicine announced they'd poured over 10,000 research papers and abstracts and concluded there is clear evidence cannabis can treat chronic pain, MS symptoms, as well as nausea from chemo. Yet the VA has decided there is no medical benefit to MJ, so why bother looking into it? The VA and DOJ work hand in hand, recoiling from any meaningful research because the plant is a Schedule I substance that has no medical benefit. And they engage in circular logic. There hasn't been enough research, so we don't really know what's in there. But whatever is in there, it has no value. As well as confirmation bias, only funding studies that search for the harmful effects of marijuana and not the pain-thwarting, life-saving benefits many veterans need desperately. And this is the most unshocking side effect from President Biden's administration. He was, after all, the one who authored and shepherded the 1994 crime bill that dictated mandatory minimums for marijuana offenses. And despite claims he's evolved on weed, he still calls it a gateway drug. Lawmakers from his own party are fighting his administration and various agencies to finally move on some aspect of rescheduling or legalizing or meaningfully decriminalizing cannabis once and for all. California Democrat Congressman Lou Correa wrote a 2019 bill telling the VA to please study cannabis for PTSD. But he's getting stonewalled by the agency as though Jefferson Beauregard Sessions was still the nation's top cop. While the feds drag their heels, vets are forced to settle for opioids and antidepressants, as those suffering most tend to self-medicate. It's a shame the federal government has let it come to this when there are a number of bills and there could be executive orders that would easily ease their suffering. Instead, they're ignored by a bunch of fussy old drug warriors, while the real warriors are taking their own lives to the tune of 18 a day. The president and Congress have the power to stop the suffering, but they're drunk on their own power, which is the deadliest gateway drug of all. And that's the memo. Republicans and Democrats are waving the green flag for pot, from bills for vets to widespread legalization. The legislation is out there. But will it ever make it to President Biden's desk? And would he even sign it? The party panel is back. Chris Bedford, Juan Williams, and Kristen Tate. Obviously, this issue has reached critical mass, Chris Bedford. It's insane we're still having this discussion. When you talk about marijuana in medical terms, 36 states, including the District of Columbia, have at least medical marijuana. 12 states, marijuana is fully legal. So why is the federal government dragging its heels, especially in this one area where people need help so desperately?
I think it's just old-fashioned politics and being focused on the wrong things. I may be your only friend, Kennedy, who's not in favor of recreational use of marijuana, but I know two of my very good friends, two of my oldest friends, two high-functioning family men who are both veterans of the War on Terror, have been really helped by marijuana just in my personal life in the last couple of years. One was able to kick an alcoholism that was starting to kill his body and would have left his two twin daughters without a father if he'd continued it. Was able to kick that completely with Heineken Zero and some weed to try and calm him down from his PTSD. Another friend was able to finally find sleep, and he didn't want to get on these pills. He didn't want to be on the antidepressants. He wanted to be on Prozacs, but with a little bit of medical marijuana, he was able to sleep at night and get through the nightmares and the things that kept him up and all of the stress of the day left over from his PTSD and really pull his life back together. Both of these people are not addicts. Both of these people have not been dragged down. They're high-functioning family men, and that kind of thing, seeing that in person, seeing that in real life, really turned me on and made me much more open to the idea of this. So it's very sad to see our scientists so unwilling to go after this, and it just shows you how political our scientists are.
Yeah, I think people shouldn't be doing a lot of things, but I don't think those things need to be illegal and overly regulated. So Juan, why is this still a sticking point?
Well, the politics of this is so anachronistic in my view. But I must say, a lot of this is, older people. You look at the age group that runs the country in the U.S. Senate and even the White House. And I think these are people who grew up with reefer madness and all the scare tactics about marijuana. And they are not open-minded about it. They're afraid that if they do open the door and anything goes wrong, they will be labeled as people who, allow drugs to, in the Nancy Reagan type world to say, you open the door, and these young people rush through it, and now look at them and look at all the sadness and catastrophe that can come from young people using drugs. I think that's I got to tell you, this is overwhelming, and it's more so, it seems to me, in a matter of age and even conservatism.
Yeah, that
says we don't
really
want to deal with this.
But you're right, because conservatism here doesn't really have to do with party. And you're also right, the people running the country are so old, they make you look like Greta Thunberg. Kristen, last word.
No, that's tough.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan or advocate of recreational marijuana just because it's not healthy for most people, but there's plenty of evidence to suggest that marijuana has many medical benefits, particularly for pain relief. And because of the stigma that we have attached to weed, we now have this ironic situation where many people are abusing it and using it recreationally while we're not even allowed to study it and figure out what the benefits of it could be for medical uses.
Which maybe we should
research into this.
Yeah, maybe the VA and every research institution should be doing as much as they possibly can to study and learn so people who need it can get it in the most appropriate form instead of fumbling around at dispensaries and trying to do their own personal experiments. All right, which, also people eat too much sugar. But should we decriminalize? Should we criminalize sugar? Maybe we should. Maybe we should tax it. AOC wants Democrats to get more woke, kind of, but she hates the word. The commie congresswoman says her party is learning the wrong lesson from its losses in Virginia, and instead of running away from wokeness, maybe they should embrace it.
I don't want to hear about wokeness from fucking people that are talking about abusing cannabis, okay? There's something wrong with that last girl. Seriously wrong to talk about people abusing cannabis and using it recreationally. Oh my God! Right. Journalism's full of shit. How many journalists are going to talk about cannabis? Hold on just a sec. And I also want to point out what Juan Williams was saying there. He's saying that the politicians and the people that are the leaders are afraid that if they get behind the legalization of cannabis, that somebody's going to get hurt on the cannabis and everybody's going to turn and look at them and say, oh, that was your fault. So every single day people get hurt by the cannabis. Not by the cannabis, but the laws that are put on the cannabis. And every single day they're hurt by Joe Biden, who made mandatory, as Kennedy just said, mandatory sentencing for cannabis users. Okay, so this is where we're at. You know, if you're too afraid to do the right thing because people might look at you and go, "Oh, well, I'm not voting for that guy again." That is the last person you want representing you, regardless if they seem to have your interest at heart, because they don't care about what the right thing is. Okay? So, and if they don't care about what the right thing is, there is no fucking way in hell they have your best interest at heart. And if you don't know that, you're a fucking idiot. What's up, G?
Hey, Mike, it's Chris. I hope. Sorry you're having a frustrating day.
I'm not having a frustrating day. Thanks, though.
Well, I mean, you got a copyright strike, and you're.
Oh no, that was 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to bring people up to date that we have a cop. I posted this. I scheduled this video 2 weeks ago, and then I keep postponing it because
right.
I have other things that I want to talk about. So.
Yeah, I understand. So you said it was a Newsmax story, and it was just kind of this innocuous story, nothing really special about it, and it got pulled like months after it was posted.
It got pulled like 2 weeks after it was posted.
2 weeks after it was posted, and YouTube just contacted you and said we were contacted by Newsmax and blah blah blah. You got strike.
Yeah.
That's really sad to hear, because information should be available to everyone.
Well, what's really sad, honestly, is that the YouTube, the YouTube could go, hey, someone made a copyright claim on this video, and if you have other information that says that you own the copyright or you have the right to use it, please let us know. But we're going to pull this video down until then. They don't have to go, oh, we're issuing you a copyright strike on your fucking library that has 11,500 videos on it. And if you get 2 more copyright strikes, we're going to burn your library to the ground. Because that's who works at YouTube, people who burn libraries. So we're clear. Go ahead.
Copyright law all around. As far as I'm concerned, when you're talking about current events like newspapers and magazines with video snippets, I think after a certain amount of time, it should just be in the public record so that people can have the discussion. Oh, that person said this person said that, this person thought that. So that allows people to think about what's going on. When you put that stuff behind paywalls, you make it impossible for people. They have to go to inferior sources of information. Like I said, I used the New York Post, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would want to read the New York Times. I've read the New York Times for years,
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pay a subscription fee to read the newspaper. That's outrageous. I know there's these tools like archive.org. I can look at the paper from yesterday or something, and I need to learn how to use those tools better, because it's ridiculous that this information is kept behind paywalls. And it's kind of the same with the video snippet. If Newsmax broadcasts that somewhere in the world, it's already out there.
Yeah, I see it as like all news kind of stories. All actual news stories are fair use, because the reason that there is a story being done in the news is because it's important for the public to know this. So if it's important for the public to know this, someone sharing it and not making any money off of it should be completely 100% legal.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's like I said, I use torrents, and I also advocate for like sharing information with people, and I don't believe that like basic information in video imagery, like, it should just be available to people. I think, especially if it's been broadcast over the airwaves, definitely, 100%. I thought of you this weekend. I've been watching this 11-hour compilation of a guy. His name is Lewis Lapham, right? And he was a editor for Harper's Magazine, and he used to do the Harper's Index, like back in the 80s. And this person on the internet, like on YouTube, I think there are YouTube channels called the Film Archives, gathered like 10 hours of this person being on C-SPAN, speaking at events, speaking at lectures, and also, having interviews and doing the morning news program where they go through the newspapers with different people. And it's call-in shows, right? So people would call in and talk with the author about their thoughts, and it would be like not very censored. And this is like 11 hours of just one person and all of the stuff they did on C-SPAN from like 1980 to like 1995 or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
And as I was watching, it's very cool. And he's a very interesting person too. He's an editor of a magazine, very well read and kind of open-minded. And when he talks to people over the air, you can tell that he's listening to what they're saying and he's thinking about what they're saying, and he's not just spouting something like, he's very interesting. Lewis Lapham is the guy's name. However, watching this video, like, I'm realizing that, like, I really, like, the questions, when the callers call in on the questions on C-SPAN, like back in the 80s and in the early 90s.
Yeah, that show is still on TV. It's called Washington Journal. It comes on every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern or 4 a.m. Pacific, in case anybody's wondering what he's talking about. Washington Journal. It's a call-in show. It's a great, great show. It lasts 3 hours. It's a great, great show.
And I wonder, I mean, I haven't watched that program for a few years. I used to watch it in the morning on the computer, but I remember it as a kid as well. But it's like, I think that censorship, how do you tell people they're not allowed to say things when they're engaged in a political discussion about something like vaccines and the efficacy of vaccines, or whether vaccines should be mandated? If people aren't allowed to present their arguments and they're immediately censored before they even speak, it's not even a discussion or a dialogue or a debate. I mean, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just living in 1984, fucking totalitarian society like we're living in right now. And in the end of capitalism, USA is not going to be the big empire anymore. Our economy's kind of going down slowly. It's kind of like the Roman Empire in a lot of ways. And on that score, I can understand why you wouldn't want to be interested in talking about this anymore.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not the end of the Roman Empire. It's the bullshit, man. There's just so much bullshit involved in discussing this. It's like I can dig through the bullshit every day, all day, but I don't want to. I don't want to be up to my fucking eyebrows in bullshit. I can discuss this stuff and everything that's wrong with the government, with our country, with the world. I can discuss it all.
And a lot of people appreciate that.
Well, if I sit here and I go, and this is fucked up, and that's fucked up, and that's fucked up, it's like people seem to think that I don't appreciate, that I'm this incredibly negative person, which I am not.
In 1984, Mike, not to interrupt you, but in 1984, they called it 2 Minutes of Hate.
Yeah.
Remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Book. But okay, so that's when all of the people, they kind of gather in public spaces, and then on the television set, they show images of captured, soldiers from other countries, like in cages, going through the streets, and all of the people simultaneously chant the same chants as they're watching the television, and they get angry and they start shouting, screaming at the soldiers and all of the hate that they're projecting on the soldiers. It's like a big part of, it's called the 2 minutes of hate.
Yeah.
And the news media really performs that same function in ways. It's like it gets people riled up for about 30 minutes a day, between 5 and 6 or so, 5 and 5:30. And then in that time, they're also like bombarded with all of these advertisements to buy these products. Procter and Gamble, their insurance policy, what kind of beer they're going to drink tonight, what kind of car do they really want in their dreams. And they're just bombarded with all this propaganda. But the media gets their adrenaline going, it gets them going so that they're almost motivated enough to become consumers. Because to be honest with you, a lot of people hate the fucking rat race. So many people, it isn't just the soldiers who are killing themselves, Mike. Young people are killing themselves at a much higher rate. And a lot of people who are using these, opioid drugs aren't just soldiers, but they're ordinary people who've reached a conclusion that this isn't fucking meaningful to them anymore. So they're not maybe they're not courageous enough, maybe that's the wrong word, to shoot themselves in the head. But it's basically the same route. I'm going to become a heroin addict, and kind of like every time I go to the dealer, I'm going to throw the dice to see whether I get a bag laced with fentanyl or not.
And
so
this
basically
this is what I was saying earlier, is that, a lot of this illness, the suicide, the mental illness, the depression, the pain, I need to get this pain. If cannabis was legal, readily available, and I'm not talking about you go to the dispensary, I'm talking about using it as food and medicine properly, a giant part of this would just go away. The depression, it would just be cut in half. All this stuff, because I honestly believe, and it's probably a big part of why the American Medical Association for generations has said marijuana has no medicinal qualities, is because a lot of what people are suffering from, regardless, has to do with there's not enough cannabis in people's diets. It's been taken away from everyone. It's supposed to be part of our regular thing, and because it's not, we're suffering from so many different things. It's really and the only reason it's not is so that some fucking cunts who are already more rich than you and I could ever imagine being need to be more rich. That's why cannabis is illegal. What's
in that book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, right? That Jack Herer book. He talks about all these enterprises, business enterprises that are interested in using cannabis for all kinds of things, nutritional supplements, medicinal products, in addition to whatever plastic and fuel, on and on and on. So if they had just let cannabis be a commercial crop in 1935, whenever the federal government said we're going to ban this, across the country, then we could be 80 years or 85 years ahead of the curve right now.
Yeah.
If we hadn't had the federal government intervene. And then if that had happened, maybe a lot more people would be using marijuana as a nutritional supplement, and using cannabis for psychotropic treatment instead of relying on pharmaceutical drugs, and so on and so forth. I would just add, amongst many other plants. I'm a big advocate of plant medicine, and if people can find a plant that will solve a problem instead of relying on a pill or a pharmaceutical company or a doctor to prescribe, to solve a problem, then they should use plants. They should use it as the first line of defense, I think.
Well, it makes much more sense to use natural products than to try and synthesize something and see if maybe that'll work the same way. We already know what works. And again, this is something I've talked about a lot, is the next evolution of mankind. And when Chris talks about cannabis being vilified and made into this horrible substance in the 30s, in the 1930s, which it was being used as medicine regularly up until then. When they stifled this thing that's meant to be part of our daily lives. I know that 90% of you are never going to get that cannabis is supposed to be part of our daily lives. You should know that that's government propaganda that you've totally bought into. That being said, as I was saying about the next evolution of mankind, and cannabis being this thing that helps people be who we're supposed to be, helps people not be depressed and slumped over and looking at the ground, helps them stand up with their shoulders back and their head held high because they're not experiencing this depression. This is all done purposefully to keep humans from evolving. Okay? They want us stuck in the 1930s. And that's pretty much where we are. So, what are you talking about? We all have TVs on our hand.
So one of the stories I followed this weekend, I was interested in it, and at the end of last week, was the Aaron Rodgers story.
Yeah, me too.
I found that to be fascinating for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's the face for an insurance company. Like, he's got the most popular advertisements on football games. It's for an insurance company. And the football game they played last week with Kansas City and Green Bay, they did not play a single Aaron Rodgers commercial, like one, not one. And they replaced him with the moderator, Terry Bradshaw, who's like this football player from the 1970s, this famous football celebrity. They had a replacement video with him, and they also had a video like with, of course, the Kansas City quarterback. But in the course of the entire game, Mike, they didn't once say, sorry, Aaron Rodgers has COVID, hope he makes it back soon.
Yeah.
Nobody said that at all. And they also, of course, were furious that he broke the rules of the Football League by deciding to not take the vaccine. And I did watch the 45-minute interview he had with his friend, Pat McAfee, or a YouTube celebrity personality. And I thought he was totally reasonable. Like, after watching it, I would encourage people to watch it. It's like he didn't say anything unreasonable whatsoever.
Well, okay. Let me just say, one of the things that he said, basically, the way I see it, totally backs up YouTube censoring people on medical misinformation. He said, I was listening to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan said that he did this and this and this, and that helped him get better. And then this is exactly what YouTube is talking about, is people going to, some, vlogger and getting their medical information there.
Well,
he said
he called Joe Rogan. He spoke with him on the phone.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. It's still kind of the same thing, right? He wouldn't have called him if he wasn't this public vlogger person. So.
And that's true. That's the only reason that he knew Joe Rogan existed, is because Joe Rogan is a celebrity, vlogger too. But Joe Rogan also has a bunch of fucking doctors that work for him, as does Aaron Rodgers. Like.
Yeah.
People like football players and celebrities have a whole retinue of like doctors that follow them around and help them.
Right.
So his doctors consulted the other person's doctors, and that was really the reason he referenced him. But also to defend Joe Rogan in the public arena, who has just gotten all of this garbage from like corporate news outlets because he's questioning what they're saying, especially like their sponsorship, like Pfizer and Moderna.
Yeah.
He's questioning those things, and they don't like to be questioned when they think they're right, at all. But so I thought it was a good. I don't think he fucked up too much. Like, I mean, I could see how it could be used, in different ways by people. But anyway, after that interview, the football people, the Football Association, has just gone crazy hunting this guy down. And like he lost, one of his 2 or 3 endorsements he lost, and he's probably going to have to go to a different football team next year. There's all these things, these celebrity things. But at the end of the day, it was I kind of admire him a little bit because he did take a loss. He had a big multi-million-dollar endorsement that was taken away from him, and he said, "Well, I'm going to stand with my principles." and that's fine with me.
Yeah, which is what I keep saying everybody needs to do is be the boss of themselves. You know, don't let crowd sway your opinion. Don't let, you make up your own mind. Okay? You can listen to what other people are saying, but it's you who needs to make the decision, not them. Because it's your life, not theirs. And I talk shit about Joe Rogan, but it's not because of medical misinformation. I talk shit about Joe Rogan because he moved from a state where cannabis was legal recreationally to a state where they vilify cannabis and will throw you in jail for a fucking joint. Okay?
I wouldn't go there, Mike.
Yeah.
I didn't move to Austin. You didn't see me moving there.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I've
reason.
talked shit about Joe Rogan before, but it's not because him doing his show. It's because he changed the place where he does his show.
I like some of. To be honest with you, I scan before I watch any of his content because I only really appreciate maybe 15 or 20% of his content. But a lot of it's just celebrity impressions and all different kinds of things, fighting and things I'm not interested in. So, but the guests that he has that are interesting are way interesting, and I'm very so. It's everything with a grain of salt. But I don't think he's a bad guy.
Nah.
I think that's a guy.
Look, he fucking did gotcha on Elon Musk. He lit up a fucking joint and then tried to pass it to Elon Musk. Which is cool if you're at a party, but when this guy takes time out of his fucking busy fucking world, and then you play some gotcha game with him because he was fucking nice enough to give you a fucking half second, and fucking Elon Musk does not need Joe Rogan's audience for shit, okay? So
that's true. But he didn't have to accept the joint when it was passed to him either. He also revisited his program after that incident happened.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, if he had tried to pass the joint, to me, I'd be like, I don't want your fucking hepatitis C, dude. The fuck,
Don't you think the world was interested in seeing like one of the 3 richest people in the world like smoke a joint with somebody in a normal setting with whatever, a glass of whiskey or
But it's not a normal setting, That's what I'm saying. It's this pressure thing. It's this incredible high. I can't imagine peer pressure getting any higher than that. Although it's very difficult for me to imagine being in Elon Musk's place and feeling any kind of peer pressure ever. So I don't know.
Yeah, and definitely Joe Rogan has some narcissistic egomania going on as well. I mean, all people in the celebrities, in the realm of like.
I just brought it up because you were saying that he seems like a nice guy or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah, relatively. I mean, that's relatively. I mean, like compared to the NBC News anchor.
Yeah.
Like, right, or the CBS morning.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it. Those people are lying to you purposefully, knowing what they're doing in order to poison your fucking brain and our entire world. In case you don't know that, that's who fucking Don Lemon is. He's there to poison your brain and our entire fucking world. But Joe Rogan doesn't really seem to do that. So I do appreciate that, he's actually giving people information that is of value. I'm not upset with Joe Rogan about his radio. I just think it's fucking chicken shit to move to a state where cannabis is considered a Schedule A drug or whatever. I wouldn't
have made that. I wouldn't have made that choice either.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with you.
I'm sure that most people who call Joe Rogan out never say anything like that, right? Most people are like, Joe Rogan's fucked up because of this. They don't say he's fucked up because he moved to Texas, but that's why he's fucked up. So
Well, Elon Musk also moved to Texas from California, and that's one of the reasons why they were on the program together.
But Elon Musk has a $1 trillion company that he,
that he's setting up a factory there.
That's not what Joe Rogan is doing. But but you know, and in the long run, see, all it does is make Joe Rogan more money, as opposed to Elon Musk maybe being able to sell his cars more affordably or something, you know.
Well, I think the reason both of them moved there, Mike, was because the tax rates in
Yeah.
Texas were lower than they were in California.
Yeah.
I think that was the first thing that they were thinking. It was money,
Right.
ultimately. And then the second reason that Joe Rogan, I think, gave was something to do with all of the COVID bullshit, like in Los Angeles and in Southern California, and that he felt that it was more liberated in Texas. Like, and he's a comedian, I think that's his trade. So, like, you know, for comedy and being able to do comedy, and who knows how long he'll stay in Texas. I agree, their laws are really repressive. I would never move there. I knew that when I was like 14 years old.
Right.
When I first visited Texas.
Right.
I visited Waco.
But my point is, the only reason he moved there is for money, okay? He could have moved to Oregon. He could have moved to a lot of places where, you know, it wasn't going to cost him tons of money. It might cost him, it would have cost him less than California, that's for sure. And in Oregon, they're not throwing away your money on all kinds of bullshit like they are in Los Angeles. So
I think, though, that there might be a more libertarian base in Texas, like where Ron Paul is from Texas, and you know there's different swaths of the Republican Party in Texas. So you know I can see a lot of reasons. Like Alex Jones was based in Austin, Texas.
yeah.
I mean, I don't really see Joe Rogan as a liberal. You know, his political affiliation is kind of ambiguous, which is fine. I don't really. It's all fucked up. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
But
Joe Rogan. I don't mean to talk about Joe Rogan for fucking half an hour.
Yeah, but I could see several reasons why he would do that. There's one thing I wanted to mention before we go. And this is also because you were talking about the leaders not following the wishes of the people, kind of like with marijuana and how beneficial marijuana could be. And this is a brief excerpt from November 4th. It said from StopTheDrugWar.org. It says, a new Gallup poll sees continuing strong majority support for marijuana legalization. A poll released on Thursday from Gallup has marijuana legalization maintaining record high levels of support with 68% of respondents in favor, the same percentage as when Gallup last polled in November 2020. Only 32% favored continuing marijuana prohibition, giving legalization 2-to-1 support. As was the case in 2020, solid majorities of American adults in all major subgroups by gender, age, income, and education support legalizing marijuana, Gallup said. Substantive differences are seen, however, by political party and religion. Support for legalization was highest amongst Democrats, 83%, followed by independents, 71%, and Republicans, 50%. That was interesting. So, I mean, it's just saying, we've known this for a long time. Those are the actual numbers. And 83% of Democrats favor legalizing cannabis. So, the next thing that Stop the Drug War mentioned is that there's this way that the president could deschedule marijuana without dealing with Congress. And it says a new report from Nonpartisan Congressional Research Service outlines pathways for the Biden administration to unilaterally end marijuana prohibition and issue a general amnesty for federal marijuana crimes by acting administratively to remove marijuana from the Controlled Substances Act. Quote, the president could pursue the appointment of agency officials who favor descheduling or executive orders to direct the DEA, HHS, and FDA to consider administering descheduling of marijuana. The report advised, quote, the notice and comment rulemaking process would take time and would be subject to judicial review if challenged, but could be done consistently with the CSA's procedural requirements. The Biden administration has officials in place who are sympathetic to legalization, but the president himself has no sign of going further than decriminalization, not legalization. I'll stop there. But so the first
and as Kennedy just pointed out, the Biden still points to cannabis as a gateway drug, which is complete and utter bullshit. The black market is the gateway drug. Go ahead.
83% of people in his party polled realize that this plant should be legalized. 83%. So this is garbage. And everyone knew this from the beginning, that Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, it was all garbage, you know? And this person represents the most corporate, retroactive elements of American society, just like his counterparts in the Republican Party. This guy is just like Joe Manchin. There's no difference between the two of them, really. And I could see why you would want to appreciate the outdoors and walks and maybe another way of expressing yourself besides analyzing news and posting videos. I understand that, Mike.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
It's just become. I mean, before, look, I had an amazing adventure doing this. Okay, I mean, I have received more recognition than I ever dreamed I would. You know, and that being said, it used to be fun. It used to be exciting. It used to be like, oh, look what I got. Oh, I can't wait to share this with people. Oh, I can't wait to get this out. And it was boom, 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 boom. And now it's just, oh, everything's so fucked up. And before, when I was posting the videos, it was because it was fucked up. But now, I don't know, maybe I should just go back to posting videos, but it doesn't work anymore, okay? I mean, it's like, when I was originally doing this, when I originally owned YouTube, there was not very many people doing news on YouTube, probably 100 or something like that, you know, and I just owned the bitches. So, and it was exciting, and it was fun, and there wasn't this big, heavy-handed censorship hanging over your head where you can't say the wrong thing and they kick you off.
You're looking over your shoulder, right? You're looking over your shoulder and wondering, like, is some bot or is some, nanny state narc going to contact the service and, get me in trouble? I can see that. That's called chilling speech. That's another part of living in a totalitarian society like Orwell, is when they make you afraid of speaking your mind because you will be punished or, something will be taken away from you as a result of speaking your mind.
Right.
Those are telltale symptoms, Mike, of living in a totalitarian society, one that is totally encompassed around a single project. And in the United States, it's about corporate capitalism. And everything else be damned. People, human lives, the landscape, animals, fuck it. Yeah. And I think when I realize that, I do have to retreat sometimes, for months at a time sometimes, to try and get my composure, because it's so fucking overwhelming to realize, I know, you don't like the word climate change, but whatever, you like to use the word pollution.
Well, no, it's not that I don't like the word climate change. It's that the debate about climate change has been going on since the 1960s. Okay? Yeah. And that's not anywhere near the debate that needs to happen. The debate needs to be, do people pollute too much? And then we wouldn't have some fucking idiotic other side of the debate going, there is no climate change. We'd have people saying, oh no, of course people don't pollute too much. And everybody would go, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so the discussion, the debate needs to be about pollution, not fucking climate change. I'm not yelling at you.
It's absolutely true that huge economic interests like the World Bank and the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, these huge institutions, are doing this in the name of climate change so that other people can make money. The transition to a new green economy is going to benefit the richest people in the world, the people who can afford to transition to the new technology. The rest of us be damned, as far as I can tell. And if we're not be damned, we're going to be glued to a screen watching content that's been pre-screened for us. So there's no radical content anywhere in your content, in your viewer that you look at to get information. And we're there. That's where we are. And that means that political solutions don't work. So even this discussion about Democrats and Republicans and, voting, once you think about what you're up against, voting doesn't really become an option. These two parties, there is no option for voters at all.
No, there is zero option for voting. Okay, last week on election night, I posted a video that said, "Please don't feed the animals," and it had a picture. The thumbnail was of an elephant and a donkey just gobbling up dollar bills, right? $100 bills, whatever it was. But I thought there was another thumbnail that I looked at, for the "Please Don't Feed the Animals" one, right? And it showed a donkey in which it said Democrats, and it showed an elephant on which it said Republicans, and then it showed a unicorn on which it said third party. So,
Like a dream, pipe dream.
making it clear that unicorns are an imaginary thing that don't really exist. So, I seriously thought about using that thumbnail, but I like the one with the fucking assholes eating up fucking money better.
Excuse me. Well, Mike, that's all I had to share tonight.
All right. It's always good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too, Mike. Have a good night.
Talk to you later. And again, it's not that I want to quit news or I want to quit politics. I just need a little break. I just need a little break from news and politics. And I'd like to do something else. I was thinking about doing business news. I don't know if that's news or not. It seems to come from a completely different standpoint, as opposed to all these politicians spewing bullshit, all these so-called journalists, non-stop for 2 years talking about the same fucking thing. COVID, non-stop, 2 fucking years. This is all the journalists talk about. Oh, look, people died at a concert. I don't know if I want to go into the whole concert thing. I don't want to speak illy of the dead. Let me just say that if you're at a concert and you don't stop doing this the whole time you're there, you're not there to be at a concert. You're not there to see a show. You're not there to enjoy a band. You're there to show everybody how fucking cool you are. And that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have one of these, so I don't go like this. But I can tell you that when I'm at a concert and all I see is fucking television screens being held up over people's heads, all I can think is, the fuck is wrong with these people? How about you just relax and enjoy the fucking amazing show you came to see? Oh wait, you didn't come to see an amazing show. You came to show everyone how cool you are. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I missed the whole point. I've taken cameras to shows, but I was invited to do that. I don't know. I can tell you that when I go to the concert and I see a sea of fucking television screens being held up over people's heads, it's mind-blowing to me. I can't imagine going to see Roger Waters or Cage the Elephant or any one of a million other bands, Gogol Bordello. Actually, I don't remember seeing a lot of cameras at Gogol Bordello, but I was in the mosh pit most of the time. So, I'm sorry, mosh pits. I've seen Gogol Bordello 3 or 4 times, and it's always been an amazing show. 3 or 4 times, I'm not sure. I don't know. We didn't do that. I still don't do that. I don't get the thing with the phones and the TV in your hand. I don't get it. And it's not that I feel left out or anything. I don't think I want to get it. That might be part of the problem. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Steve McClanahan. I am ready to give you your fucking competency test, Michael. Are you ready to take the competency test, Michael?
No.
There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, Michael. You're taking the competency test.
I did not say if and or but. I said no. Listen.
Oh, you're gonna say no to the competency test?
You said there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I didn't say if, and, or but. I said no.
Dude, listen. The fucking competency test is really easy. Okay, you don't have to be afraid of the competency test. Bro.
I'm
It's
not
a
afraid of
competency test.
anything.
Yeah, you are. You're fucking afraid of the Steve McClanahan for prestigious journalist fucking competency test. And you
No,
can't fucking
I'm
take it.
afraid Steve McClanahan will show up on my doorstep someday. That's what I'm afraid of. So you know.
You know, Michael,
It's
I would
funny because
love-
it's true. What now?
I would absolutely love to be able to show up on your doorstep and give you your passing results for the competency test. That would bring joy to my heart.
You don't understand, okay? If I was to take a test for you or anyone else, I could care
like,
less.
you know, the
I could
youngsters,
care
like
less
the
how I
little
scored on the test.
It'd be like a little youngster getting his GED finally.
Uh-huh.
You know? You know, Michael, I just wish that you were able to pass the competency test.
Why?
And did you just ask me a fucking question?
Why? Why? You made a statement. I ask you why you make that statement.
I'm the one that's fucking asking the questions.
No,
here,
you're
okay?
making statements.
Oh bullshit! I'm doing that too, but you're not asking me any fucking questions. This is a competency test that I'm trying to do. You don't fucking ask me questions of why I want you to pass the competency test.
Why?
You know,
Why?
yeah.
What difference does it make?
Well, I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that in the media and in the journalism world that needs to pass this fucking competency test. Why can't you be the first guy that passes the Steve motherfucking prestigious journalist fucking goddamn forsaken fucking competency test? Dude, why can't you do it? Because you're a fucking bitch. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, just said it right then and there.
Okay.
I
Let's
got a
be
whole
let's
list
be
of
real
questions
clear.
we-
You do not want to show up on my front doorstep after saying shit
Well,
like that.
I definitely don't. I don't. I'm fucking in South Africa right now. I'm just saying, like, I am literally not even in your fucking time zone at all. It's daytime here currently. It's fucking amazing, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it. We're doing it live. We're keeping a positive attitude. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, and Michael, we have just rendered you fucking incompetent for the fourth fucking time, Michael. How does you feel? How does it feel?
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't
I don't care what you think. I don't care what you. How much more clear can I make this? I don't care what you think.
Well, there's people out there in America that care what you think, and they care about your
Right,
well-being,
right. That's
Michael.
fine. They care about what I think. I don't care about what they think. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if people care about you and they're caring about you, what you think, and they care at the same time, you don't really care about any of that?
I don't care. I don't have time for that.
This is why you need a fucking competency test, motherfucker. You need to fucking get your care and share right.
No,
You need to
I don't
figure that
think
shit
so.
out.
I don't think so. I don't
You
want to think.
understand,
I don't
Jared?
want to think about other people, like individuals. Why would I want to think about individuals? That's how you go
You
crazy.
just want to think about like the entire world collectively, and that you're going to just save the entire fucking planet all together at once.
No, I just want to think about walking Rufus.
All right. Well, you know, that sounds okay. I'll let you go, Michael. This, I have to just say, Michael, on this competency test, I feel like that we've made progress, and in the future, maybe tomorrow, hopefully you're going to do another show. You're going to take another stepping stone. It's going to be a little progress. You're going to fucking be able to do this, keeping a positive attitude. We love you. There's a lot of people out here fucking relying on you to get your fucking ass to work at the end of the fucking day, when most people are fucking, getting off work. We need you to fucking be there and fucking get on the fucking news show, and we'll contact Craig, see about like getting you through this competency test. It's really easy. I think we can do this, Michael. We love you out here. I just want to let you know that. And if you don't show up to work tomorrow, I'm gonna fucking drive over to your fucking house. I will defecate on your fucking doorbell. I'm not joking. I swear to God.
I never touch the doorbell. Why would I care?
Well, the pizza man, he will.
No, actually, a doorbell doesn't work. It has like a note on it that says "does not work."
They still
Not.
fucking they push the button. And
No,
then they
there's
push the note.
there's a note over the button. You can't push the button. You can't even see the button. So they don't do that. So why should I care if you shit on it?
Oh bullshit! The note is all worn and torn, and they still ring it anyways.
No, they
they're
don't.
fucked up.
It doesn't.
Yeah, they do because
They
knocked
don't.
on it. They knocked on it like 3 or 4 times. Nobody listened. Then they pushed that fucking stupid ass piece of paper, and then bing bang boom, you show up at the door. Michael, I gotta go.
Good.
We love you.
Okay, so it is reaching that time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, boys and girls. I'm sorry, my little ninjas. We're getting close here. I have to go and make brownies. I mean, that a man has got to have priorities. Damn it! And Boo Bear, what you doing? What you doing, Boo Boo? He's like halfway in the water or something. Oh, his head's behind a bush. Why you put your head behind the bush? Nobody can see you. Alright, so where were we? I gotta make brownies. You guys want to call the numbers on the screen, 805-669-6397. And we're still looking for some idea on what we can do for a little while instead of talking about politics. And you all know, my little ninjas, I have been bringing this up again and again, but in different ways. I've been talking about, what should we title the show? Should we talk about, what's your favorite cookie? Or what's your favorite TV show? Or what's your favorite pizza topping? I want to have a discussion. I don't want to leave you out. I want to keep you interested. I've always just wanted to reach out and connect with you in whatever way. That's always been what a big part of what I do is because, and when I say that, and saying that knowing that for the first 15 years of posting on YouTube that I really never did a whole lot of on-camera videos. I did a few, and they were powerful in my opinion. And I'll probably repost them one of these days, hopefully, maybe. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? So, we've been doing this. I don't want to come out here night after night. As I was saying, I've been talking about this here and there, about needing a break from politics and stuff, and I'm just looking for ideas because I want to connect with you. I feel like the audience is obviously an integral part of this stream. It's what I want. It's what I've always wanted on YouTube, is for the audience, my YouTube posts have always been about the audience, not about me, not about look what I can do, not about, you know, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's never been about that. Even the TV show, even when I did the TV show, you know, and I was in front of the camera from the very start till the very end. It was never about me. And when I was designing the TV show, you know, it was about me making contact with the people, but from behind the camera. I was going to write and direct and produce and put out this shiny little product that made people smile, you know. And I used to tell people that. They said, "What is it you think you're doing on TV?" And I said, "I'm making thousands and thousands of people smile all at the same time." And I did that for a long time. And as I'm saying, you know, even before I started doing streams and such, my post had always been about the audience. It was about, look at what this asshole just said. What do you think of that? And those of you who've been around know that's what the site was always about. Look at this. Look at what do you people think about this bullshit? Always. It was never about what I think about it. Well, not never. Like I said, I would do a monologue from time to time. And I think maybe I'm a little bit uncomfortable out here day after day spouting, you know, what I think. You know, and that's why I have the phone number, and that's why, you know, I really want to connect with the audience. At the same time, I don't want to come out here day after day and be negative. You know, this is fucked up, that's fucked up, everything's fucked up. But that's not really how I am. But I could understand some people seeing me as that, seeing me as coming across as angry and negative. The truth is, I say this is solvable. I just got done saying climate change is solvable. All we have to do is give up video games and soy sauce. That's it. All we have to do is give up video games and soy sauce. And we fix climate change. And then I can hear, you know, this ringing out there saying, plain rice? You know, it's doable. We can do this. We can make anything happen on this planet. That's one of the most amazing things about this planet and about humans, you know. And I talk about this. I am not a negative person, and perhaps this is what's bothering me, is I go on endlessly negatively. Although, again, there's this like, we can do this. We can make it happen. We can do anything. We've been given this perfect little blue-green jewel in the universe. This perfect thing with so much perfection everywhere you look. We don't have to flush it all down the toilet. We could turn it around. We really could. And that would be this thing where I think we would all connect, you know? And this is why I talk about the pollution thing being what needs to be talked about instead of climate change. Because the pollution thing, everybody can understand, and everybody on an individual basis could actually make a difference. But instead of having the never-ending pollution discussion, so it's into the constant, you know, the constant everyday life of people, like the climate change discussion. We hear climate change constantly, but we don't hear a discussion about pollution, you know? And again, this is the kind of thing where everybody could go, oh, well, maybe I can make a difference by doing this. You know, by doing this little thing. Like I said, we just have to give up soy sauce and video games. Just have to do these little baby steps. And we could change the entire course of human history. I don't know if that sounds negative to you or what. I just think it's really unfortunate that no one ever tells you this. That we have all the power to make anything happen. They tell you, oh, you can make this amount of money. I guess that's what I'm saying too. It's not so much that you can make this amount of money at the Canna Crypto Casino. It's not that you can make all this money. It's that I have this theory that you can make all this money. And I would find it very interesting to pursue that theory for a little while. So that may be the direction that we're headed. I want to discuss this more. That's what this week is going to be about. Hopefully, I will hear some input on the direction that we should take this live stream. I would really like that. So, that being said, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back tomorrow. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Right? It has to end one of these days, right? Stay cool till then.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, You can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.